Morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Myself, Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, we'll be starting off fresh with a new indicator, Money Flow Index, which can be shortened as MFI. This is a indicator which gives us the idea of money flow, whether the money is flowing in to the instrument or if it is going out, and it is correlated with the volume data. With all these technical aspects, we will see how we can design and develop a profitable trading system, a profitable trading algorithm using these indicators. This is the Visual JForex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. You will find these indicator listed amongst the volume indicators as the major difference between MFI and the RSI is volume. There is also a oscillator. The value varies between 0 to 100. So we get a single output value provided we have defined these four input parameters as per our requirement. We will not really go into the technical aspects of this indicator. We will not discuss how it is designed, how it is calculated. We have already done that in the prior session. Now this is the time to look for uses of it, how we can employ this indicator for our advantage. I will explain to you what the logic is going to be for today's algorithm. It is simple. We want to be trading with the trend. If the momentum is bearish, we want to be selling. If the momentum is bullish, we want to be buying. So that's kind of simple. So for that, we will compare the MFI output value of the last 4 hourly candle block with the output of third last 4 hourly block. So there will be interval of 8 hours between these two output values of the MFI, and that will provide some stability for the output value and the underlying instrument, even if it is moving swiftly between a narrow range. We will get a clear-cut idea only if it is moving in the same direction. So for that, we will keep this interval of 8 hours and consider the output value of the MFI. So if the output value is rising, if the output value of MFI for last 4 hourly block is higher compared to the MFI output of third last, then we will look for buying opportunities if the conditions are reverse. If the MFI indicator output values are going down over the time interval of 8 hours, then we will consider the opportunities to go short for the underlying instrument and to then pinpoint the optimum entry points provided we have the firm trend on our side. We will utilize the lower time frame of 15 minutes where we will consider the overbought and oversold kind of scenarios along with the possible divergence taking place in the price action of the underlying instrument. So for that, we will consider the levels of below 30 as oversold, as indicative of the oversold momentum, and if the output value is above 70, we will consider it as being overbought. And whenever the money flow after having gone below these minus the 30 level, whenever it starts to rise but the price action doesn't really confirm and it continues to decline, then we will look to initiate the buy trade provided the underlying instrument has bullish momentum on the larger time frame of 4 hours. And for sell trade opportunities, we will look to short sell it when we have this kind of situation where the underlying instrument is showing the MFI output on the higher side above 70, and now it is starting to decline while the price action continues to rise. We will start looking for the shorting opportunities. So for buy trade, we will need the last 15-minute candle close to be below the penultimate, that is second last 15-minute candle close, provided the output value of the MFI is higher for the last 15 minutes compared to the second last 15 minutes and it is still below 30. So that will be a requirement as well. And for short sale opportunities, we will need the MFI output of last 15 minutes to be lower compared to the MFI output of the second last 15 minutes. And along with that, we will also consider the price action data where the closing value of the last 15 minutes should be higher compared to the closing value of the second last 15 minutes. And we will not go for the trade straight away. Suppose if here for possible reversal, we will place the order on the lower side, not go for the market order. So we will consider the difference between the closing value and the candle high of the last 15 minutes. And whatever is the difference, we will take twice of it, considering this is the lower time frame and there is not much move is likely to happen within 15 minutes. So we will take the twice of this difference and we will place a limit order on the lower side as we are anticipating a possible reversal to happen and not the reversal at current prices. So for that we will place the order on the lower side, and for sell trade opportunities we will do similarly, just in a inverse fashion, we will place the order on the higher side. So this will also be a limit order. And here, whatever is the difference between the closing value and the candle high, we will consider that and we will add twice of it to the last traded price, and that will be our limit order for the underlying instrument, in this case, the Euro USD. So now let us head back to the Visual JForex board where we will start adding the blocks for designing the algorithmic structure. First, we will have to start with the components, logical components. So I take these three if blocks and we will get the default instrument first and match it with candle instrument. And candle instrument should match the instrument of choice, okay, which is of course Euro USD. So here it is. Okay, afterwards, the position amount needs to be defined 0 to make sure there is no existing open or pending position on the account to avoid doubling down of any existing position. This is going to be 0. Okay. This MFI block input values need to be redefined. So I will change the candle period to 4 hours. Look back period will be 1. So this is going to be last 4 hourly candle block. And time period is 14 as per the default setup. I will add four more of this. First two will be 4 hourly time frame, then later two of 15 minutes each. Look back period of 3. This one of 15 minutes. And shift values will be 1 and 2 respectively. To look at the last two 15-minute output values of the MFI. After that, to look at the price volatility, we will consider the get historical candle, the information candles. For that, we are going to need these info components. We will need at least 4 of these. First two of 15 minutes and later two of 10 seconds to pinpoint the exact entry point. Okay, so we have defined these two 15-minute candle with the look back period of 1 and 2 respectively. And this I will change to 10 seconds. This one as well. One and two. Okay. So we have these blocks in place to consider the MFI output as well as the price volatility. Now we will consider the actual difference. For that, we will have to carry out some calculations. For that, we are going to need calculation expression blocks. So I'm going to add mathematical components. And here we will consider the difference between the candle 17's candle low and closing value for the buy side requirement, and we will have to consider the difference between the candle high and the closing value for the sell side requirement. So I'm going to take the components of candle 17 in these two calculation expression blocks. So for that we have to consider auto created variables, and here candle close minus candle low. So this one will be A1 minus A2 as per Excel convention, and this difference we will consider for buy side closing requirement. And for sell side we will have to consider the difference between high and the closing value. So this is going to be A1 minus A2 sell side closing requirement. Okay, so we have defined these two variables which will help us in defining the conditions for the execution of the trade in a optimum manner. So that's it for the day. We stop here. I hope you have been able to understand the logical formation and the subsequent addition of these blocks for defining the conditions as we have outlined in the JForex formation. Here on the chart I had explained to you what are the requirements. So we will continue with our algorithm development in the next session. We will consider the buy side of the equation first, and later on we will also complete the sell side. So thank you all for joining in today, and for further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can join in for any in-depth discussion. For trading as well as carrying out the testing on the historical data, you will need to take the help of JForex platforms. All these links have been provided in the bio. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.